Hello. So I just wanted to do this video so that I could explain what I have in mind for my lesson plan. I made some adjustments to the lesson, and it this is not complete, but it's just what I had so far. Of course, there might be changes again. I don't know, but I'm trying to make this lesson as interactive as possible so that the students learn a lot from it. Of course, my lesson plan is about the earth, night and day. So this is the TEK for this lesson. It is grade 5 and it is earth and space. The students know that there are recognizable patterns in the natural world and among the sun, earth, and the moon system. The students are expected to demonstrate that the Earth rotates on its axis approximately every 24 hours, causing the day and night cycle and the apparent movement of the sky across the sun across the sky. So this is the opening activity, and as you can see, I have it laid out here. It's just to help guide myself and the students. So here the students will have 2 minutes to complete this activity. The engagement section will be 3 minutes, so it's 2 minutes for them to do the activity. So they basically have to set up for the activity and do their observation in the 2 minutes, and then for the last minute of that, then we will do a brief discussion. For this activity, the students would need a globe and a flashlight. The instructions are one student should hold the globe and the other student should hold the flashlight. They should stand 6 feet apart from each other for social distancing purpose, and also for them to get basically an understanding of feet. So this is just a little skill that they will learn in there, and they will make sure that they're facing each other. Point the flashlight towards the globe, turn on the flashlight, and whenever they're ready, whenever they're set up, then they will let me know, the teacher, to turn off the light. But when the light is turned off, then the student would ask the person who is holding the globe to spin in one position. So they should be able to see where the flashlight hit the globe, and they would see that it will basically be the same spot all the time. And they will make notes of what happening here in their head, and then we'll discuss it after. Stop this. Stop this. Sorry. So here's where the students will share with their partner what happened. But for this section, I would have them like use question cards that would be on their desk, just so that this could help facilitate discussion with each other. Now we're moving into the explore phase. Let me go back a little bit here. So while the students are talking about their answers with each other, their observation with each other, I will be there with the students. So I will listen to what they have to say and prompt them for other questions. That way we could get the idea of the lesson established. And then we're going into the explore phase. Now in this explore phase, the students will be given 8 minutes to complete this activity. So they will have a globe, a flashlight, the name of 5 countries, tape, and a pen. And a worksheet that says daytime or nighttime. So the students would have to place the globe in the center of the desk that they're sitting at, and then they would use the name of the countries and find it on the globe. Once they find the name of the countries, then they would tape the name of the country at the very location where the country is. Then the students would turn on the flashlight and point it towards the globe, directly towards the globe. And then they would turn on the flashlight and determine whether or not that country, the two countries that are on their worksheet, the first in the first column, the first row, which country is in daytime and which country is in nighttime. My goal of this part of the lesson is for the students to understand that some countries would have nighttime and the others would have daytime. So sometimes there are some countries who would have both day and some countries that would have both night. But it all depends on their location and where the sun is at that time. After they have completed this activity, they would move on to the connecting the dots. So I'm just going to do a brief discussion after this activity, and then I'm going to move on to the connecting the dot. So basically the students will read about the day and night cycle, and then what I would tell them is that while they're reading, you will come across some information that will help you to connect the passage and the activity that you just completed. And basically, think about the information while you're reading. So this would help them critically think about the information, and then they would use the evidence from their activity to support their thoughts. So this is the passage, and it should take them roughly about 2 to 3 minutes to read this passage. I made it short enough so that I could have a discussion in there. It doesn't cut into their hands-on activity time, but it still gives them their reading resource time, because they're in special education too. Most of the time they are over there for reading resource time. After they have completed the story and reading the story, I would have them basically arrange these pictures to show the day and night cycle. So based on what they understand, I want to see if they can show me what they understand. Chances are a student might put the sun on the other side where there is night rather than this side where there is day. But I'm hoping that both of the students would put the sun in the right space and the arrows to show where the sun is hitting. And then they would use the names, the words here, to put it on either side to say day or night. Now we're in the explain phase. Instead of just doing the traditional discussion for this class, I realized that my students, they like games. I know the games are competitive, but it does get a lot of engagement or interaction from the students. So for this one, I would have different cards. It's like playing I don't know what the game is, but basically they will have a stack of cards, and first they will choose a number, and the one will be for the earth and two will be for the sun, and then based on the number that they choose, then they will get their picture. For this part, I will control the pictures if they move when they move, just so that the students don't take too long to complete this part of the activity. So they will be rolling the dice and answering the question, and I will be the one moving the picture. So the rules are, they will first each get a turn to roll the dice. Whoever gets the highest number, they would be the ones who, the person who gets the highest number will be the one who go first. Now, when that person roll, they would have to choose a question, And if that person answered the question correctly, then their picture would advance, meaning if they roll a 4, then the picture would advance 4. However, if that person doesn't answer the question correctly, then the second player will get a chance to answer the question, and then if that player answer the question, then that player would advance to the 4th spot and still get their turn, and it will be vice versa as you go along. Hopefully this doesn't take long. I'm hoping that this would take maybe at least 4 minutes, because I'm not gonna give them a lot of question. I just want to see how much information they have learned. And in between, if there are any misconception, it will give me an opportunity to give the students feedback. It will also give me an opportunity to prompt the students for other information, like, okay, so if you look at the sun, if you look at the earth, why is it, where would you say the sun set and where would it rise? Because there's the daytime over here and the nighttime over here. Which would you think is midnight and which would you think is noon? You know, all of those questions. And I would ask the students, why, if the sun rotates this way clockwise, then it's the same thing as the sunrise. So where do you think the sun would set? They should be able to say at the top, and set at the bottom, which is east and west. I have not completed the elaborate stage. I feel like I would keep the elaborate stage the same, where the students basically would do the mathematical computations. Another idea I have in my head is that I would have them basically build a model of the earth rotating and the sun on the side that's having day. So until then, this is what I have for my lessons. Please let me know what you think, and it is always a pleasure to work with you.